Jim, this is a section where you're going to see in-cab shots. You're going to lead the driver, and sometimes you're going to see the driver.
This is Rich Hoosier. Look at this background flying through the air. Watch his neck.
Watch his neck when he lands here.
This in-cab, once we started doing that, Bob, it really taught us a lot about what we should be doing for that driver inside that truck.
Right.
Before it happened so fast, we had no idea.
And we saw this, and I talked to Rich. I said, your head was almost below the steering wheel. He says, no, there's no way, until he watched this tape. And he says, maybe that's why I'm sore the next couple of days.
And just even a stadium obstacle course. Look at the beating that Ron Bachman's taking right here. He's got a lot to do in there. Make these corners while he's bouncing around, trying to keep his hand on the gear shift and everything else.
Here you can watch a driver from the start of a race to the end of it, and watch him bounce around. It's rough on him. This is before the two chassis truck. This is the old spring trucks.
Yes, and you can see the viability of having a 5-point harness here. You've got to keep this driver where he can maintain control.
Watch what happens at the end after he goes over the hill here. He turns too sharp, hits the bale of hay, and goes over.
Controlled confusion. What happened? But the safety gear pays off.
Yeah. He wasn't hurt at all. The truck was. Here's a shot of the new chassis. I guess it was Andy Brass driving. You see what it looks like from the floor looking up at the driver. They're doing a lot.
A lot to do and not much time to do it in.
That's right. Now here, this is the helmet camera. This is what the driver is seeing. It's probably not as wide a view as the driver has, but this kind of shows you what they're going through.
Not only does, as you saw in the right there, he has to watch what he's doing, he has to watch the other guy.
That's right. See, watch the lights here. It'll go green, he takes off. And bounces and bounces and bounces and has to be control of the chassis of the truck.
Sometimes, they'd say sometimes you can go faster if you go slow. Try to maintain control all the time, and it's difficult.
And this one, watch the people standing in the tunnel here as he comes down to the end of the race. He's heading for the tunnel, and they start running. This is you, Jim.
Yes, it is.
Kind of showing the shocks and how they're bouncing around as it's absorbing the energy.
This is Bigfoot number 9, Bob, when we did that, and we try to learn from every aspect. This is a great shot of suspension. We can see exactly how far the shock's moving when we do hit an obstacle. And we'll time code the video and see where we're at in the course and everything else. We derived a lot of good information from this.
Now this is moving into the jump in Las Vegas where Dan jumped the semi. You can see what he's going through there. He's fighting the truck to keep it in line with it, to hit the ramp right.
And speed and ramp angle is all important. So this is a speed run, and when he made the speed run, he found out the ground is so hard, it's like pebbles. It was hard to control the truck. It just wanted to slide back and forth.
Yeah, this is the actual jump here at night.
Like running in the dark. He actually picked a light on the other side of the semi-truck, and he drove toward that light.
And it looks really severe the way it landed. It looked like it'd be hard on the driver, but he got out and said that wasn't as bad as some of the car crashes because the tire and the wheel that broke off absorbed the energy.
Yeah, comment it wasn't near as bad as the jet jump as far as the impact, but the braking, it's like crumple zones in new cars. It helps absorb the impact. And he made a comment to me. It says, Dan, you're supposed to do 60 miles an hour. He says, I saw that jet in front of me, and all I could see was a white wall. And so I wanted to make sure I was going fast enough to clear that jet. And he drove 70 plus miles an hour to hit that.
Kind of a shot. We were doing some testing at the shop, and you can see we even do it in the wintertime in the snow.
The deepest snow I was in when Bigfoot was in Denver, Colorado was 22 inches when I bought it out of a car show. I went out and played around the parking lot for about 10 minutes and just had a good time. And people gathered around and watched it. But these trucks are incredible. They'll do anything.
It looks like fun. This is just some shots from top of vehicles as the truck goes over. It's a point of view of the car.
This is where you don't want to be. You don't want to be an automobile with Bigfoot around. But notice the impact. You see the camera shake, when that truck hits the ground, it shakes the floor.